Hello everyone, Hunter Pig here, and today I'm doing my birthday haul. So, it's a little bit small this time. I've only got like 7 figures, but still enough to do a video. So, let's get started. First up, we have the Mattel Eoni. Oh, I should probably mention all these are by Mattel, so heads up. But yeah. This is a new species I have in my collection, and one I didn't know, a species I didn't know existed until I saw this figure. And this thing, it lived in the same time period and location as, I think, Utahraptor, which I think it's really cool. Also, when I look at the coloration on this, it reminds me of the Megaraptor by Mattel, and just say it's bad, I really like it. Though the face looks like it uses a little work, because especially the eye looks like it's staring off into space. But I just think it's pretty cool. And now I hope to get a little herd of these someday. And that's pretty much it. And I hope to get more in the future. This next one is a species that I also didn't have in my collection till now. The Edmontonia. I've read a few other Ankylosaurs, but I couldn't get the Edmontonia because I don't think there's really that many Edmontonia figures. Also, when I look at this one, it makes me think it was inspired by the Collect Day Edmontonia because of the coloration. But I just think it looks really cool. You don't see differences compared to the other Ankylosaurs in my collection. And I hope to get a collection version someday too. And I think they're just really cool. This next one, and I think it's a really crazy looking one, the Tyrannotitan. And just from looking at this thing, it looks like something you'd see in a video game, like Monster Hunter or something. And it also looks like it belongs in the jungle, which I think is still really cool. Like the others, which does and does this thing. I especially like the coloration on the face. The little reds, yellow on the little jaw, and the little skin flap too. I noticed they've been doing it on some dinosaurs lately. It's not bad, but I really like it. But yeah. Honestly, I don't think this really looks like an actual Tyrannotitan. See a human image, and this one looks completely different. But I just think it looks really cool. I'm hoping to at least get the PNSO version and some others in the future too. And next up is the Eotriceratops. Whenever I look at this one, it reminds me of a giant like chocolate figurine thing, like a chocolate bunny or chocolate Santa. Also, when you pull its tail like this, on one part it looks like it's rearing up to defend itself, but in another sense, it looks like it's trying to give you a high five, and I think that's kind of funny. And you can also push its head up and down. Also, a little thing I want to add, well, I guess a little fun fact about this thing. I think it's supposed to be a bit bigger than actual Triceratops, which compared to some of the Mattel Triceratops, it is a bit bigger, but when compared to the Habitat Defender Triceratops, it just looks smaller, which, I don't know, just some Google images I've seen about a size chart, and this thing's just supposed to be a bit bigger. And this thing also lived alongside Pachyrhinosaurus and Albertosaurus. I'm not sure if this thing would have encountered T-Rex, but probably not. But I think that this looks really cool. Especially like how the horns start going straight, like in the Triceratops. This one goes a little crazy horn up. Kind of looks a bit like a lightning bolt. Especially like the coloration of the frill. It reminds me of something else, but I can't remember what it is. And while I still really like this figure, when you look at it from the front, yeah, the frill looks like it used a bit of work. Like it was more spread out like this, it looked better. Like this, it just looks a little weird and wrong. I think it's to help it fit in the box or something, but yeah. I think they've done with a few of their other Ceratopsids, but I really wish that would more spread out instead of like this. But still good to get this. I hope to get another Evo Triceratops in the future. Next up is one I am really glad to get. The Lab Lockdown T-Rex. As you can see, it doesn't make noise, but I really like the design of how this thing looks. Like, I watched Toy Adventures video on this thing, and he said, compared to the other T-Rex, which are like bowling pins, you know, easy to knock down, this one looks firm, like it can really stand in place. You can especially see it on the feet. Like, the feet on the other T-Rexes are really thin. These ones, they're just really bigger, look like they can stand. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, a little minor fact. When Mattel figures first started out with Jurassic World, they had them on the feet, but then moved on to place them somewhere in the back. And now with Rebirth, they've moved back to putting on the foot again. Not sure why, but I think they really like that, because place them on the back just seems a little ridiculous and kind of annoying. Yeah, really glad to take on this one. Though it seems a little small for a T-Rex. Well, I'm still got to get this. Though the arms feel a little odd. Like in the rest of the T-Rexes, it's kind of straight out. These ones feel like they're right bended. Not sure if this is to make it more accurate, but I still think it's pretty cool. Also, I think it seems actually a little more accurate to the other T-Rexes by Mattel. Mostly because it is a bit more muscle on it, a bit of fat. And just a really good looking T-Rex figure overall. Next is another I am really glad I've got. The Quetzalcoatlus. I know Mattel's made a few other Quetzalcoatlus figures, but I think this one is the best one. Not just because it just looks cool, it's also bigger. When you look at its wingspan, it's way bigger than the rest. Oh. I'm not sure why they had this little... As I was saying, it does that. It presses a little button on its back, and its wings pop out. Problem is, you can also do it like this again, but they're really thin, and they can't stay in place. Seriously, I've already had a multitude of times where it does that. Like when it doesn't stand for very long, and it does that. So you have to be careful when you're playing with it. But yeah, that's another thing I like about this, is how instead of having them in a constant flying position, it also has them in a little sitting position. Well, I guess standing position. It reminds me of these ones for limited Pteranodons. I'm hoping to make more pterosaurs like the future, because the constant flying ones, I just don't like them as much. I just prefer them sitting like this. You know, like majestic creatures instead of the sky vermin, as in most paleo media. But yeah. Another one I'm really glad to have gotten. And finally, the biggest one of the bunch, and one I'm really glad to have gotten. The Mosasaurus. Like the T-Rex, this one doesn't make sounds, but I'm okay with that, because some of the ones that do make sounds are really annoying. Also, while I can't show it on camera, well, I mean unable to show it on camera, when you look at this from the front, it looks like it's smiling at you, which I think is kind of funny. And on top it looks like it's a big lizard, but when you look from the underside, it reminds you of a whale. Which some might like that he did. You know, the previous Mosasaur they did was inspired by big lizards, which of course Mosasaurus is big lizard, but this one looks more like a whale. It's really like. Though I don't know what it is with the tail though. I just think it's a little weird. Like you see in an accurate Mosasaurus, you know that has a little tail flap that goes under the tail. But I can still work with this one. Also, word of advice, when you get this one, be careful with the flippers, because two of the flippers, I can't remember which one, I think it was this one, another one, they're really hard to get and to snap in. Not sure why, but it was really difficult, because of the way they were shaped and bent, it was hard to get them in. But I finally got it, and that's a good figure. Also, when compared to the other Mosasaurus I have, it's actually a bit smaller, but I'm actually glad for that, because I don't think it would fit anywhere else in my collection if it did. And that's pretty much it. I plan to do a part 2, basically all the things I plan to get with my birthday money, but that won't be for a while, because I at least enjoy these figures first, so that's pretty much it. So that's my birthday haul. Hope to get more in the future. And until next time, goodbye. Oh, and please subscribe.